On September 30, 1999, a radiation accident occurred in Japan at the Toy Kamura nuclear facility, killing several workers and exposing the public to radiation. At the time, it was the largest radiation accident in Japan involving the peaceful use of nuclear energy in radiochemical production. The plant at which the accident occurred was producing uranium dioxide derived from the processing of isotopically enriched uranium hexafluoride. The resulting uranium dioxide was subsequently used as nuclear fuel in reactors and had a uranium-235 isotopic enrichment of no more than 5%, but there were cases when the company received orders from companies using experimental fast neutron reactors. They were in need of uranium with a higher enrichment level, up to 18%. Very careful and attentive handling of the raw material was required. On September 30, 1999, workers were engaged in purifying uranium from this nitrous oxide. Powdered uranium was mixed with nitric acid in a special tank, resulting in uranium nitrate, which was transferred to a buffer tank and then to a sump cooled by a special water jacket. In the sump, through a reaction with ammonia, the uranium was purified, followed by curing. During this procedure, it was very important to prevent reaching a critical mass that could initiate a spontaneous fission chain reaction. To do this, the buffer vessel was made narrow and high, which greatly reduced the chance of a spontaneous chain reaction occurring. In addition, personnel had to be very careful to control the amount of raw material being processed. In 1996, the company unilaterally changed the uranium purification procedure without notifying the Department of Science and Technology. Under the new rules, company employees were allowed to manually mix uranium oxide and nitric acid in 10-liter stainless steel buckets, then put the resulting mixture into a wide and voluminous sump, ignoring the special narrow and tall buffer tank. The new rule was introduced to facilitate the uranium purification process and save time. The inspector and supervisory organizations visited the plants twice a year, and it was during these periods that uranium purification production did not take place. Working with the new regulations was no problem while the plant was producing low-enriched uranium, but in September 1999 the plant received an order to produce uranium enriched to 18%, which was required for a fast neutron reactor. The workers who started the order had no experience with highly enriched uranium. 7 buckets of nitrate were placed in the sump, about 8 times the amount allowed. As a result, 40 liters of mixture containing 16 kilograms of uranium were formed in the tank, which exceeded the critical mass and began a spontaneous chain reaction. One of the workers, adding another bucket of nitrate dropped into the sump, suddenly saw a bright flash of blue. It was Cherenkov radiation. The worker and all the nearby workers felt nauseous and short of breath. One of them lost consciousness. The initiated nuclear reaction triggered gamma and neutron radiation. After that, the radiation control alarm went off at the plant. 5 hours after the accident, the dose rate of neutron and gamma radiation continued to exceed the permissible level. The mayor of Toy Kamura City asked the population living near the enterprise to leave their homes and move to safer places within a radius of 350 meters from the enterprise. People from 40 residences belonging to the authorities were evacuated. Prefectures and barracks radio and television appealed to people living within a 10 kilometers radius of the emergency plant not to leave their homes because of elevated radiation levels caused by aerosol fission products. All workers from the production shops were also evacuated. After measuring self-radiation, they were taken to a collection point. The personnel recorded a background that significantly exceeded the permissible value. That was when the version was first voiced that a criticality accident had occurred at the plant. The spontaneous chain reaction lasted about 20 hours. It was interrupted when water was drained from the cooling jacket surrounding the sump, which was a neutron reflector, and the sump itself was filled with boric acid, which absorbed neutrons. The complex and dangerous operation involved 30 specialists under the supervision of government officials. All of them received a radiation dose even 11 hours after the accident outside the plant. Gamma radiation levels were 1,000 times higher than the natural background. Using air filters, volatile radioactive products were collected inside the plant, but some of the radioactive gases as well as iodine-131 were released into the atmosphere. 3 employees, Hisashi Oki, Mozata Shihanara, and Yutaka Yakakawa, who worked in close proximity to the solution, were severely irradiated. Oki received 17 sievert, Shihanara 10 sievert, and Yakakawa 3 sievert, while half of the cases had fatal doses of 3 to 5 sievert. Oki died a few months later. He suffered severe burns and internal organ damage, his white blood cell count was near zero, and Shihanara died next. Although he was successfully implanted with skin grafts, his immune system was so damaged that an infection broke out that he did not survive. A total of 700 people were exposed to radiation: plant employees, liquidators, firefighters, and local residents. The commission that investigated the causes of the accident found the following: employees at almost all levels of the plant were not fully aware of the specific factors. There was no understanding that the same volume of solution could be safe if placed in a special narrow and tall buffer tank, and supercritical if placed in a wide and voluminous sump. It turned out that the company often pressured employees to be more productive by turning a blind eye to safety. Moreover, plant management believed that an accident with a spontaneous nuclear chain reaction at their plant was impossible. As a result, the Japanese government ordered the company to revoke its operating license. The 1999 accident ranked 4th on the international scale of nuclear events. 12 years later, Japan will be rocked by a new radiation disaster 10 times the magnitude of the 1999 More nuclear accident alone. I thank you for watching. Your support is very important to me. Your comments and thumbs up motivate me to release new videos on interesting topics. Subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in the new videos.